Hey there everyone, it's Michael Dougal with EXP Realty, and during this video today I'm going to be answering the most commonly asked questions about the brokerage EXP Realty, and you can feel free to refer to the timestamps in the description box if you'd like to fast forward or rewind to any question that is pertinent to you. And jumping into the very first question, which is what are the costs and commission splits? The right hand side has a standard cost and the left hand side has the actual commission percentage splits. So starting with the standard cost, we have $199 plus tax as the startup fee to get started with the brokerage. We have $139 per month as the brokerage fee. So for instance, if you do not sell any homes for a few months, you would simply be paying your $139 per month fee. Next, we have a $29 broker review fee. This is on each transaction. So when you submit your paperwork, the company charges you $29 for each sale for them to review your paperwork and make sure it's airtight. And the $17 risk management fee, this is as well for transactions, for each transaction. However, it does not apply in Ontario. It's only for select provinces. So you can disregard that particular fee. So now that we've covered the standard cost, let's look at the commission splits. And what the commission splits are it's an 80-20 split for your first $80,000 of gross commission earned each year. So what happens is for each deal that you do, you are paying 20% to the company. You're keeping 80% for the first $80,000 that you make each year. And after you've made your $80,000 within that year, you are keeping 100%. The company is keeping 0%. You are only required to pay a $285 transaction fee, again, plus the broker review fee for each deal done. So your goal really should be to make your $80,000 as fast as you can with the company that year, and then every deal thereafterwards, you're keeping 100%. You only have to pay that small transaction fee. Do note that this chart here covers absolutely everything, and there are no hidden costs or hidden fees outside of these numbers. If you are in the United States, the fees, they slightly differ with respect to the standard cost, but the commission splits are the same. Moving on to the second question, which is if I need help, who do I call? Which is a great question. So what will happen is once you join EXP Realty, you will get an email from the staff which will show you a document which has the whole staff directory. So you know who is in charge of like marketing, who's in charge of payments, or who's in charge of onboarding or paperwork. And given that you have that staff directory, you know exactly who to contact so that you can ensure you get a response as soon as you possibly can. And then with respect to how to communicate with them, they all have phone numbers. The easiest thing we like to do is simply go into Workplace. So in Workplace, we can see all the staff members. They're usually there during the daytime, and we can even see who's online. So it's kind of like Skype or MSN Messenger that way. This is a great application I recommend for all of my agents once they join EXP to familiarize themselves with Workplace and make sure that they download the Workplace application on their smartphone, because you can communicate with them, you can call them, and then in addition to the EXP staff, you also have your sponsor who you're welcome to ask questions to, or your sponsor, so all of your partners in the company. So for example, if an agent joins and I'm their personal sponsor, then I really like to help them out. I like to make sure that I'm there if they have questions pertaining to anything like deposit checks on transactions, how showings are coordinated, etc. Moving on to the next question, which is how does revenue share work? And the way it works is it's like this. If you are to personally bring somebody to the company, meaning you've influenced them to join EXP Realty, what so is you get paid a small percentage off of each deal that they close up to the time that they've earned $80,000 within the company. When an agent signs their independent contractor agreement, then what so is on the contract, it asks the question of who was the biggest influence on you joining the company. And if the agent fills in your name, then what so is every time that agent does a deal, you get paid. And you don't get paid in stock, you get paid in cash, which is absolutely fantastic. So the way it works is on the 22nd of every month, you will collect your revenue share payment, which is the money that has been made from your sponsored agents' deals that have closed the previous month. So for example, if an agent got paid during the month of August on a particular transaction, then on September 22nd, you would be paid the revenue share earnings from that particular transaction. And the way revenue sharing works is such that you make money from your recruits all the way down for 7 different levels. And this is a big deal because the company and the founder was so intelligent to say, we're not going to waste EXP's money advertising for new agents. Rather, we're going to spread the company through word of mouth. So let's go ahead and let our agents talk about their good experience in the company, and they will likely be able to invite other agents. And I'm somebody that has always been pretty open about sharing some of the things which have worked with me in my business as far as lead generation and my system. So now I can have agents choose me as their sponsor, and I can pay it forward and help those agents out. Which leads to the next question, which is, do I need to recruit? Do I need to bring agents? And the answer is no. Many of you are surprised to learn that only like 5 to 10% of people in the company have actually recruited someone else to the company. So no, you absolutely do not have to recruit. Most people are focused only on selling homes, and that's completely fine. However, if you do have a desire to earn passive income, and that's why this model is so great, is you can earn passive income as well as selling homes at a very high level, then of course you can choose to recruit, and there's a lot of training specifically on that. Moving on to the next question, which is, how is paperwork managed? And EXP has state-of-the-art technology. They're actually affiliated with this company called SkySlope. So every agent, once they join EXP, they get their login for SkySlope. And what SkySlope is the best technology you have for paperwork management. So the way it works is once, let's say you're doing a buyer deal, once you go ahead and you enter in the information for the specific buyer deal and the transaction property address, then a checklist will populate telling you which forms are required for you to submit into the program SkySlope. And the software will allow you to add attachments, and then within a day or so, a broker manager will review the paperwork and either give it a check mark saying the document is great, or they will say X and they will ask you to correct something like, for example, you're missing a date over here. So this is a very simple, a very easy process. I remember being at my old brokerage, they didn't have something as simple as this. It was like I would have to send them emails with the attachments for each particular transaction, which became a bit of a headache to manage and keep track of, especially for the staff. So over here, it's like for each property, for each transaction, we go ahead and we submit the paperwork, and then we can simply like leave one transaction, go to another transaction, and manage the paperwork on that deal. So it's great, nice and simple, and no complaints with it whatsoever. I think SkySlope is something that every brokerage should be utilizing. And moving on to the next question, which is, what will I tell my clients who don't know about EXP Realty? Because let's face it, EXP is not too big of a brand yet compared to some of the other major brokerages like RE/MAX or Century 21 over here. So the answer to that is, fortunately, your clients really don't care. I've not noticed any like negative changes with my business. My business has only gone up since I've moved from RE/MAX to EXP Realty. Clients understand that virtual is the future, and because this is known to be like the Amazon of real estate and it's very futuristic, clients really do appreciate when I simply tell them that I was at RE/MAX before, but I moved to a company that has better technology, especially due to the pandemic, and people can do their own research on it. Clients in most cases are going to be choosing you, the agent, over the brokerage, and that's something that we should always keep in mind and really not put too much thought towards. Moving on to the next question, which is, are there no brick and mortar offices with EXP Realty? And the answer is yes, there are no brick and mortar offices with EXP Realty, but EXP has actually partnered up with a company called Regus, and we get access to all the Regus offices, so we can use their computers, use their printers, we can invite other agents there or our prospective clients. But note that no, we don't have a traditional office that you walk into where agents are running around, but consider this to be an advantage versus a disadvantage, because this is the very reason why most companies are charging their agents so much money and not giving the agents much value back. It's because they have to pay for these very expensive leases on these buildings or on these properties, and very often the agents are not even using the office space. So for instance, like my last brokerage had about 400 agents, and there was only maybe like 20 agents at the office at one time. And there's a reason for that, is because productive agents are usually meeting with clients at their properties. And so I would say I believe in offices. I think office environments are great, but let's face it, clients buyers or sellers, they're most often going to want to meet at the subject property or meet at their place, or if anything, maybe meet at a coffee shop. Moving on to the next question, which is how do agents become stockholders in the company EXP when they join? Which is a great question. The company's philosophy is like, as the company grows, all the agents should be growing as well. So because of that, what the company does is they actually give you stock, and they do this as you're going about your day-to-day activities. So I won't get too much into it during this video here to keep things fairly simple and brief, but you're welcome to do more research on that. What I can share with you is that when you sell your first home, for example, EXP rewards you with stock. When you sponsor your first agent and they close a deal, you get stock. You also earn stock when you hit the Icon Status Award. And what's so is you can enroll into a particular program with EXP when you sign your agreement for, it's called the Agent Equity Program. And what that means is for each transaction, what EXP does is they take 5% of your commission check and they buy EXPI stock at a 10% discount, which is great. I think every agent should be doing it because it's like an automated investment plan. And I know a lot of agents who have made hundreds of thousands of dollars because they've been at the company for a few years. And if you look at the history of the stock and how much it was trading at, it has really gone up. I even meet like clients out there who bought EXPI stock because they see EXP as a movement which is only growing. So I would recommend you really look into the stock, and this is a big advantage of being a member of the company because it's a publicly traded stock on Nasdaq, and other companies simply don't offer this at all. And the next question is, what does it mean to be Icon status at EXP Realty? And what Icon means is it means that you can consider these people to be top producing agents, and the benefit and the advantage of being an Icon agent is that you earn your $16,000 that's paid to the company in the commission splits back in stock. So you get that money back. And here's how an agent does become an Icon and hit Icon status. Is what they need to do is they need to do 20 transactions from the time that they hit their commission cap to the end of their 12-month period. So for example, within a 12-month time frame, you have to make your $80,000 and do 20 additional transactions. And then, of course, you've hit your Icon status. And what the company does is they give you your $16,000 back in the form of company stock. So the $16,000 is the 20% of the $80,000 that you made, and it goes right back to you. So I think this should be the goal for every agent, is to become an Icon. And what's really great is EXP says to all the Icons, we want you to give back and we want you to host a training in the cloud. And some of these trainings are really fascinating. I recently attended one by an EXP Icon agent specifically on how to lead generate using YouTube and how to use YouTube to get business from your sphere of influence and your database. And there's all kinds of training that different Icons are hosting. We've seen ones on NLP and role play. So I really like the fact that they put together this Icon thing where the agents are rewarded by not only hitting a particular level of production, but they are also encouraged to go ahead and give back and help train some of the other agents. Moving on to the next question, which is it a lot of work to switch brokerages and move from another company to EXP Realty? And the answer is no, provided that you have like a checklist. So if you need that checklist for you of things which you need to get done when you move to the brokerage, then reach out to me. I can help you out with that, because it's going to include things like your business cards, like your flyers for all your social media branding and so forth. When I switched over from RE/MAX to EXP, I was also transferring over a few listings. So what I had to get signed was an acknowledgement form from my seller client saying that we are in agreement with you going ahead and you transferring our listing from RE/MAX to EXP. So you would want to get that gone ahead and done depending on which state you're in or which province you're in. And as far as breaking up with your broker, that's something which should be pretty easy. You just go ahead and you mention to them that this new EXP model is month to month, and I want to give it a shot. And if anything, I can go ahead and join back with you guys if EXP doesn't maybe work out, which is what I did. Which naturally leads to the next question, which is, why did I join EXP Realty? And the answer is because I had a lot of really close friends and agents that I looked up to in this real estate industry across North America, and I couldn't ignore the fact that they kept on switching to EXP Realty like one by one. So the first thing was EXP, of course, got my attention. And when it got my attention and I saw such influential people move over to EXP Realty, then I looked into the model and I really liked the fact that there was training, there was masterminds available, there was a lot of resources and tools that I was getting for the small $139 per month payment. And as far as the revenue share, that really appealed to me, the fact that I could not only build my real estate team, but make it as such that the chances of them like leaving my team and being my competitor was very unlikely, because as long as the agents are still with EXP Realty, I would still be making money from them as far as the rev share plan. So this way I can like help build my agents up, so when they join my team, I can help them with their sales skills, make sure that they have like a steady flow of commissions coming in, and then if they want to go ahead and build their own team, then they can still do it under the EXP umbrella. So I like that we have this whole like nice community, and it's pretty much like every day like strikingly obvious to me that I need to help people understand what they are saying no to. Like if they are saying no to EXP Realty, then they simply haven't really looked into the model with enough depth, because there's like literally so much value given for the small payment that it's pretty much like a no-brainer whether you're a new agent or you're a veteran agent or a team leader. It's a great model overall. So then I've also talked about my first year with EXP, where I covered the changes from Remax to EXP in this video over here, and it will give you a good idea of some of the pros and the cons. People join EXP Realty for very different reasons. Some people join it simply because they like the stock incentive. Some people join for the revenue sharing. Some people join because we get a free membership with KV Core to use their CRM to help us lead generate and help us with lead management. So it's going to be different. Of course, have the courage to go ahead and break up with your broker if you have to, and if you need help with that conversation, maybe I'd be happy to help you out. And do consider subscribing if you got value from this video. Of course, if you're looking for an EXP sponsor, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you about what I can do to help you further your business and make you enjoy the process meanwhile. And I look forward to seeing you all next time.